Hello friends, welcome to Affairs Cloud Learn to Lead. This is Ashu and today we will discuss very important current affairs of 2nd of December 2020. You can see here two best images of the day, but today we will discuss 7 to 8 very important and the most important current affairs of 2nd December 2020. But before proceeding, that you already know who are regular student, we will discuss about Affairs Cloud subscription. What you will get in the subscription and how you will get this subscription. Firstly, you will get the daily wise PDF. In the daily wise PDF, you will get the theoretical current affair as well as the question and answer format of the daily current affairs. Next is the weekly PDF, all the current affairs according to the weeks. Next is the weekly test. It is very important so that you can basically evaluate yourself that how much current affairs you can retain. Next is the monthly PDF, and according to me, it is the most important section. And in the monthly PDF, you will get the 5 PDFs. One is related to the theoretical current affairs. One is related to the question and answer PDF. It means all the theoretical current affairs will be converted in the form of question and answer. And it is very useful to remind the current affairs for long time period. Next is pocket PDF. As the name suggests, it is very important before exam because you can revise the current affair very quickly. Next is the banking, finance and the economy PDF. This is very important for those aspirants who are preparing for the banking exam. And last is the question and answer PDF top 100. It means top 100 current affairs of the month will be provided you in the form of the question and answer so that you can revise the current affair very quickly. And guys, all this subscription comes at very minimal cost. Now, how you will get this subscription? You will get by two methods. You can visit our website, that is affairscloud.com/current affair, or you can directly go to the description box of this video. In the description box, there is a link of the video so that you can basically access that subscription. Now, on that subscription, we are providing you 10% extra discount. If you use this code ASH10, then you will get the 10% extra discount on that minimal cost. Now, let's start today's current affair, that is the 2nd of December. Here is our first question. Which state inaugurated virtually the first of its kind organ donor memorial in the country? And guys, mark under the very important section because it is the first time in India, or you can say first time in the country, that any organ donor memorial opened. And this opened in which state? This is the question. So firstly, I am telling you what is the answer. Answer is, guys, Rajasthan. Mark, answer is the Rajasthan, and this is inaugurated by Chief Minister of Rajasthan, who is Ashok Gehlot. So mark under very important section. You can see here Rajasthan Chief Minister, that is Ashok Gehlot ji, inaugurated virtually this center that is known as the Organ Donor Memorial. Now you can see here the Organ Donor Memorial has been built near SMS Hospital by the Mohan Foundation Jaipur Citizen Forum and Jaipur Municipal Corporation. It means these organizations, one is the government organization, one is the private organization, both basically jointly built this Organ Donor Memorial. The memorial is inspired by the famous Jantar Mantar of Jaipur and it was designed by Samir Whetten. And remember the architecture, that is the Samir Whetten. Now, what is the function of this basically, you can say the organ donor memorial? The main function will keep encouraging people on the theme of Ek Khamoshi Anek Muskan. Ek Khamoshi Anek Muskan Aao Kare Angdan. That is basically purpose to encourage the people for the organ donation. So I am repeating again. The organ donors memorial will keep encouraging people on the theme of Ek Khamoshi Anek Muskan Aao Kare Angdan. It means let's donate our organs, or if they are encouraging the people for the organ donation. This is the main purpose. And most important thing, where it is opened, it is in Rajasthan. And Rajasthan state is very important, guys. There is a Sariska National Park. Sariska National Park. There is one important thing, that is Ranthambore. Ranthambore National Park is there. And one more, Kala Deogana National Park. Remember, Kala Deogana National Park. Move to next question. 21st edition of Hornbill Festival 2020 celebrated virtually first time in which state? It means this festival, this is the 21st edition of this festival, and it is the first time that it is held virtually due to the COVID-19. And guys, mark under the most important because this type of the question very much asked in the banking exams. For the banking student, this is the most important question. And Hornbill Festival is celebrated in which state, guys? Very important question, and it is in Nagaland. Remember, the answer is Nagaland. You can see here Nagaland host first virtual celebration of the Hornbill Festival 2020. It is first time that they are held this or the organized this festival virtually. You can see here 21st edition of Hornbill Festival 2020 from 1st to 5th of December 2020, organized virtually for the first time due to the pandemic COVID-19. Hornbill Festival, known as the Festival of Festivals, is organized by the State Tourism of Arts Culture Department of Nagaland at the Naga Heritage Village of the Kisma Kohima. It means if you belongs to the Nagaland, then this news is important for the Nagaland students. Kisama Kohima. It is to revive and protect the rich culture of the Nagaland, because so many cultural activities takes place in this event. So that's why it is just to protect the rich culture of the Nagaland and display its extravagant traditions to promote tourism. So this type of the event, basically this festival organized for 10 days, but due to pandemic this time it organized for only for 5 days. Otherwise the normal days it was held as a 10 days event. Started in 2000, the festival is conducted every year from December 1 to 10 in line with the Nagaland State Foundation Day on the 1st of December. So remember these vital information which I told you, and this slide, you can take the screenshot of this slide. This is very important. And remember the name of the festival, that is Hornbill Festival of Nagaland. Nagaland state is important because there are two national parks, or you can say one national park and the one wildlife sanctuary is very important. One is Intanki. Intanki, Intanki National Park, that is in Nagaland. Second is the Fakim Wildlife Sanctuary. Fakim Wildlife Sanctuary, that is again very important. Another wildlife sanctuary I remember, that is Singphan. Remember, Singphan, Singphan Wildlife Sanctuary. This is also in Nagaland. So one is the Intanki National Park, Fakim Wildlife Sanctuary, and the Singphan Wildlife Sanctuary in the Nagaland. So guys, remember the state is very important, and there are another festivals in Nagaland. One is the Hornbill Festival, you already know. One is the Olong Festival, Aoleng, Olong Festival, that is also celebrated in the Nagaland. Second is the Bushu Festival, Bushu. These are the very important festivals which are celebrated in the Nagaland. So remember, Hornbill Festival, Olong Festival, Bushu, and 3 national park and the wildlife sanctuaries. Very important state. So this is very vital information for you guys. Move to next question. Again a festival came. Which state celebrated Lachit Divas 2020? Lachit Divas 2020, and it is just to remember the Army General Chao Lachit, and this state is Assam. Remember the very important state as point of view the wildlife sanctuary and the national park also, and with the state government activities, this state is also important. Assam. Remember the state Assam. You can also see here, Lachit Divas is annually celebrated across the state of Assam in India on the 24th of November to remember the valor of Chao Lachit Borphukan, on an army general of Ahom kingdom. You have to remember this Ahom kingdom basically ruled over the Guwahati state of Assam, and they are basically known as the princely states. The day is celebrated to mark the birth anniversary of the state hero Lachit Borphukan. Remember the name Lachit Borphukan, and he belongs to Assam. He belongs to Assam, and he also belongs to the Ahom kingdom, because Ahom kingdom was purely dependent on this army general that is known as the Chao Lachit. In the Battle of Saraighat in 1671 against Mughals, he fought against the expansion of Mughal Empire in Assam, because at that time Aurangzeb was ruling in 1671, and he wanted to expand his territory in the northeastern states and starting from the Assam. But this army general basically restricted the activities of Aurangzeb by the Battle of Saraighat. The open session of Lachit Divas was cancelled due to the demise of Tarun Gogoi, the former Chief Minister of Assam. I already covered this news. Recently, Tarun Gogoi, the former Chief Minister of Assam, even the longest Chief Minister of Assam, died. So that's why the open session of this festival cancelled. So remember the Lachit festival and why this is celebrated. If you know why this is celebrated, then you can remember the name of the state. And guys, Assam is very important because there is a Kaziranga National Park. Kaziranga. There is one more Manas National Park. There is a Manas also river tributary of the you can say Brahmaputra. Kaziranga National Park, Manas, both are tiger reserve. Next is the Nameri National Park is also there. One is the Dibru-Saikhowa Biosphere Reserve. Dibru-Saikhowa. Total 18 biosphere reserves in India, and out of 18 there is a one, that is the Dibru-Saikhowa Biosphere Reserve. Now moving to next question. Which country hosted the 19th meeting of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization Council of Heads of Government? Council of Heads of Government, and this is Shanghai Cooperation Organization, and it is the 19th meeting. And guys, remember, mark under the very important section or the most important section, because India hosted the 19th meeting of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization Council of Heads of Government. Council of Heads of Government. This have to attended by the, you can say, the President of India, but he was not well to attend this meeting. So that's why Vice President of India, that is Shri Venkaiah Naidu, attended this meeting and represented India in the platform of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization. You can see here, Shri Venkaiah Naidu, Vice President of India, chaired 19th meeting of Shanghai Cooperation of Asia Council of Heads of Government. So you can say it was chaired by the Vice President of India, Venkaiah Naidu, from New Delhi. This was the first summit level because India became the full member of the Shanghai Cooperation in 2017, and it's the first time that meeting held under India's chairmanship since gained the full membership of the organization in 2017. India and Pakistan both become the member on the same year in 2017. India assumed the chairmanship of SCO Council of Heads of Government on 2nd of November 2019. It means India basically assumed this chairmanship for the 1 year time period, and it was assumed as a chairmanship on the 2nd of November 2019. Not important date, but you have to remember just the year. The first SCO online international exhibition on shared Buddhist culture held. It means they talked about the shared Buddhist culture because the maximum SCO countries are sharing the Buddhist culture as well. So this is the basic theme of this organization, or you can say this event. And one more important thing which is suggested by India in this meeting of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, that India has also proposed to host the SCO Shanghai Cooperation Organization Food Festival in 2021 in New Delhi. So remember, India proposed to host the SCO Food Festival in 2021 in Delhi. So remember this, that where will be it held? That is held in New Delhi. Now, under this question, there is one more important thing, that is the SCO. That is very important. SCO headquarters is in Beijing, China. Who is the Secretary General? That is Vladimir Norov. Remember, Vladimir Norov. And how many countries are member? 8 countries are member. How many countries? 8 countries. One is India, Russia, China, Pakistan. These are very important countries. And next is the Central Asian countries. One is the Kazakhstan. Second is Kyrgyzstan. 2 countries from the K. Next 2 countries, one country from the T, that is Tajikistan, not Turkmenistan, Tajikistan. And one is from U, that is the Uzbekistan. So remember these 4 countries as well, and these 4 countries. So you can remember very easily. So these are the 8 member countries of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization. And where is the headquarters? That's in Beijing, China. And who is the Secretary General? Vladimir Norov. Move to next question, guys. Who launched the second edition of Fit India School Week program, and mark under the very important section. And by the option, you can basically guess that which person can launch this type of the Fit India School Week program. And he's our, you can say, the sports minister. And who is this? Kiren Rijiju. Remember who launched this? That is Kiren Rijiju. Ministry of Sports, independent charge under the Kiren Rijiju. You can also see here Sports Minister Kiren Rijiju launches second edition of the Fit India School Week program. And you can also see here, it is to encourage kids to incorporate physical activity and sports in their daily routine. That's why they are saying every student have to join one sports. Every student have to join one sports, and emphasis is given on the school as they are the first place where habits are formed, because at the school level, if you are participating in the games, then it will become your hobby in the meantime. Now main aim is to make every Indian fit. The Fit India School Week will help in ranking schools based on their performances of students, even teachers, infrastructure facility, and their participation in the every activity which is held under this week. All the events will be conducted by schools in the virtual mode due to the pandemic. And guys, you have to remember one more important thing, that Fit India Week, this initiative will be taken in all schools under the CBSE, not the state boards or the ICSE schools. It will be taken in all schools under the CBSE only. Remember this. and the Fit India School Week will help in ranking schools based on their performances of students, teachers, and the infrastructure facility and their participation in the activities. There are so many activities like aerobics, painting, quizzes, debates, dance, and other games also. So due to pandemic, these activities are basically organized in the virtual mode. So remember, and the program was launched on the in November 2019. Firstly, it was launched in November 2019. It is the second time that they are launching this type of the program. So this is the information regarding the news, and one more important extra news, that is the Khelo India Youth Games. Khelo India Youth Games will held in 2021 in Haryana, in Panchkula. In Haryana at Panchkula. So you have to remember that Khelo India Youth Games in 2021 will be held in Haryana, Panchkula. And who is Minister of Youth Affairs and Sports? I already told you, that is the Kiran Rijiju. Remember these things. These are very important things. Move to next question. Which university topped in QS Asia University Ranking 2021? I am talking about at all over world level. Which university topped in QS Asia University Ranking 2021, and this is ranked by the QS Asia Ranking Agency. QS Asia University Ranking, it means all the university in the Asia ranked under this ranking, and the university, the National University of Singapore, topped under this university ranking. Remember, National University of Singapore topped under this ranking. And if you are talking about India, total 107 universities out of 650 institutions, 107 institutions ranked from India. Remember, 107 institute ranked out of 650 Asian institutions. Remember, and one more important thing, out of first 50 top institutions, 3 IITs made a place. Like IIT Bombay has 37th in the list, IIT Delhi on the 47th in the list, and IIT Madras in the 50th of the list. Remember, on the first, IIT Bombay at the 37, and IIT Delhi 47, and IIT Madras in the 50. It means in the top 50 ranking, India's 3 institutions made a place. So remember this. And on the first, this is the National University of Singapore. You can see here, out of 650, 107 Indian universities ranked. 107 universities ranked under the 650 Asian institutions from the 18 location based on the 11 key parameters. These are the huge ranking. You can see here the ranking was topped by the National University of Singapore for the 3rd consecutive year. It means from the last 3 years, the National University of Singapore ranked the top university under this ranking. On the Indian front, 3 Indian institutions like IITs have made it to the top, like IIT Bombay on the 37, IIT Delhi on the 47, IIT Madras on the 50. How you can remember? BDM. BDM stand for Bombay, Delhi and Madras. But no Indian university got top place in the top 10 list. This is the top 50 list. Out of 650 institutions, 124 from the mainland China, followed by India. It means out of the all country-wise ranking, India ranked on the 2nd number, because India has the 107 universities or the universities ranked in the 650, and China has the maximum, that is the 124. Remember these very vital information, and this is very important for the question point of view. Remember these. And this QS index is prepared by the London based company. The headquarter of QS is the London. Move to next question. Which city topped the list of world most polluted cities according to Air Quality Index 2020? Marked under the most important question. And the university ranking also marked under the most important question. And this city, not in India guys, this is in Pakistan. Remember, which is Lahore. And Lahore topped the list of world most polluted cities according to Air Quality Index 2020, and New Delhi become the second. New Delhi become the second city who is the most polluted city according to the Air Quality Index 2020, and it is published by the United States. Remember, so Lahore you have to remember, not the New Delhi. Lahore again tops list of world's most polluted cities. You can also remind 2 or 3 things. That is, one commission was appointed to control the air quality in India. And this is a very huge commission, you can say. It is known as the Air Quality Commission. And who is the chairman of, or you can say the chairperson of this Air Quality Commission? That is former Delhi Chief Secretary M.M. Kuti. Remember, M.M. Kuti is currently The chairman of the Air Quality Commission. This is, guys, very important. Mark under the important section. This information is important. And Lahore again tops list of the world most polluted, and New Delhi is on the second. Remember this. Move to next question. Who is appointed as the interim chairman of the National Dairy Development Board? Mark under the very important section, because earlier the permanent chairman was the Dilip Rath, but now Dilip Rath retired, and who is appointed as the temporary chairman. Interim means the temporary chairperson of the National Dairy Development Board. And this lady name is the Varsha Joshi. Remember, the Varsha Joshi become the interim chairman of the National Dairy Development Board. But remember also the name of the Dilip Rath. You can see the picture of the Varsha Joshi appointed as the chairperson of National Dairy Development Board. And the organization in this question is important. National Dairy Development Board. Where is the headquarter of National Dairy Development Board? That is in Anand. Where is the headquarter? Anand, from where the White Revolution was started. Anand is in Gujarat. And who is the interim chairman? Varsha Joshi. Now, another important name in the options, that is the Dilip Rath. He was the older chairperson of the, or you can say the former chairperson of the National Dairy Development Board, but he retired and Varsha Joshi appointed. But one more important news about the Dilip Rath, that he was elected to the International Dairy Federation Board. He was elected as a member to the International Dairy Federation Board, and he is the second Indian who is elected in the International Dairy Federation Board. I covered this news exclusively, so remember this, and remember the name Dilip Rath. He is very important. Move to next question. Which state launched one-time settlement scheme to provide waivers for the pending electricity bill payments? Mark under the very important section, because if state government is launching any type of the app or any type of the scheme, then mark under the very important scheme. These type of the questions are very frequently asked in the exam. And this state is, guys, Goa. Remember, the state is Goa. You can see here that Goa government launches one-time power bill settlement scheme, and Goa's chief minister is Pramod Sawant. Remember, chief minister name is the Pramod Sawant, and this is the one-time one-time settlement for the electricity bills. Now, what is under the scheme? That consumers can pay bills in installments. This is the one-time settlement provision given by the Goa government. Waivers to the late payment fee are applied to the customers based on the initial amount paid or by the minimum time period of repayment. It means the penalty will be waived off if they are paying the minimum amount which is decided by the Goa government, or the minimum time period of the repayment, because they are paying on the installments. No limit on the outstanding dues pending for the payments. There is no limit that how much amount is pending, but you can use these two methods to pay your bills, and you can pay your bills in the installments. And Goa is also important with point of view if you're talking about the national parks. One is the Bhagwan Mahavir National Park. Bhagwan Mahavir National Park, and also the Wildlife Sanctuary. There is a Bondla Wildlife Sanctuary. Bondla Wildlife Sanctuary is also there. Salim Ali Bird Sanctuary is also in Goa. One is the Molam National Park, that is also in Goa. This is very important. Molam National Park and Bhagwan Mahavir, two very important national parks in the you can say in the Goa. Move to next question. That is the Sandeep Kataria, first Indian appointed as global Bata CEO. First time it is happening, first time that any Indian is appointed as the CEO of the Bata company, CEO of the Bata company. And you know, Bata is a shoemaker company and a very renowned company. So you have to remember this news and remember the name of the person, that is the Sandeep Kataria. Sandeep Kataria. And guys, where is the headquarter of this Bata company? Headquarter is in Switzerland. Remember, the headquarter is in Switzerland. Just not to remember anything, just remember the name of the person, Sandeep Kataria. Move to next question. One book, basically, the name is The Indian Icon, a cult called Royal Enfield. This is a book on the motorbike that is that named as a Royal Enfield, and it is specially purchased in the Delhi as well as in the all North India. And you know, this book is written by very senior journalist, that is Amit Raj. Remember the name, Amit Raj, and it is basically a novel on the Royal Enfield, a premium homegrown brand for the global market. And this book is published by the Westland Books, but no need to remember the publisher here. This is not so much important. Just remember the name of the book by the Royal Enfield and the name of the person who wrote this book, that is Amit Raj. Amit Raj. Move to next question. Here is the World AIDS Day, most important day. If you are asking about in the point of view the exam, then it is so much important day, World AIDS Day. And you all know what is the full form of the AIDS, that is Acquired Immunodeficiency Syndrome Day. It is annually observed on the 1st of December to show support to the people infected with HIV. To show support to the people infected with HIV and to remember the people who passed away due to AIDS and the other related diseases due to AIDS. Remember, the first AIDS Day was celebrated in 1988. Observed basically, not celebrated, observed in 1988. So remember this. And why it is celebrated, I already told you. And there are two organizations which are important under. One is the WHO. WHO also observed this day. Second is the United Nations Children Fund, that is the UNICEF. So remember these two organizations, WHO, all you know. Where is the headquarters? That is Geneva. And who's the Director General of WHO? Ted Ross. Ted Ross. And next is the UNICEF, United Nations Children Fund. And where is the headquarters of United Nations Children Fund? New York. And Executive Director is Henrietta. So these two things are very important. And what is the theme? Global Solidarity, Resilient HIV Services. Global Solidarity, Resilient HIV Services. World AIDS Day. Move to next, that is the BSF 56th raising day on the 1st of December 2020, because BSF inducted in 1965. Inducted in 1965 by the Act of the Parliament, that is on the 1st December 1965. That's why this day is celebrated on the 1st December. So you can simply remember this news, that to tackle the AIDS problem, we deployed BSF personnel. So you can just correlate, otherwise there is no correlation between these two, but you can remember by this. BSF 56th raising day. 56th raising day. And who is the Director General of BSF, Border Security Force? That is Rakesh Asthana. Remember the Director General, Rakesh Asthana. And it was formed in 1965. Headquarters is in Delhi. And what is the motto? That is duty for life. Jeevan Paryant Kartavya. That Kartavya. Duty for life. Now, moving to next and the last section, that is one-liner important points. That is very important. A stadium near Calcutta, or you can say the Barasat, Calcutta, West Bengal, has been named after late Argentinian footballer Diego Maradona. Recently, he passed away, and a stadium in the West Bengal basically named after the Diego Maradona. Next, Hindustan Aeronautic Limited delivers biggest ever cryogenic propellant tank C-32 LH-2 to ISRO, to Indian Space Research Organization. And guys, what is the use of this cryogenic propellant tank? The basic use of that tank is to improve the payload capability of the geosynchronous satellite launch vehicle. It means the GSLV Mk3 launching vehicle. To improve the payload, just you can remember, to improve the payload. And what is the name? C-32 LH-2, and it is made by HAL and it is delivered to ISRO. And both the companies like ISRO and the HAL headquarters is in Bengaluru, Karnataka. And who is the chairman of the ISRO? That is K. Sivan. Remember K. Sivan. Move to next. SIDBI, in partnership with ISAC, launches ARM MSMEs and Asset Reconstruction Web Module for MSMEs. So this is basically a web portal to provide the benefits to the MSMEs. Just remember this organization, that is ISAC. ISAC is the India's SME Asset Reconstruction Company. India's SME Asset Reconstruction Company. This is the ISAC. Headquarters is in Mumbai, and it was established in 2002 by the SURFACE Act of 2002. And this is SIDBI. You all know about SIDBI. That is Small Industries Development Bank of India. Headquarters is in Lucknow. Remember, headquarters is in Lucknow, Uttar Pradesh. Next, India recorded largest reduction in the malaria cases in the Southeast Asia between 2000 to 2019. It is a report of WHO. Next is India tops Asia in bribery, use of personal connection to assess public services. 10th in the global corruption barometer. So just remember, all over globe, India is on the 10th number if you are talking about the corruption. And in the Asia, India tops in the bribery. That is highest rate in the Asia. 39% is the very highest in the India. Remember this, 10th in the global list, and in the Asia, India tops. Next, Union Agriculture and Farmer Minister launched Shakhar Pragya, Shakhar Pragya, Shahkar Pragya, or you can say to train farmers to primary cooperatives in the rural area. Just remember, the Union Agriculture Minister Narendra Singh Tomar ji launched one program that is known as Sahkar Pragya to train farmers. That is Sahkar Pragya. So these are just one liner important point you can remember. And under these news, very important are this stadium that is renamed after the Diego Maradona. Second thing important is in news, this is the India's top Asia in the bribery index. These are the very important news. And third one, just remember this program Sahkar Pragya. It is launched by the Agriculture Ministry to train the farmers. So this is all for today. I think you like the video, and guys, subscribe this video or subscribe this channel also, and press the bell button so that you can receive the notification on time. Guys, please provide 700 plus likes, so that we can make more videos on the different contents. And it is Affairs Cloud promise that it will boost your confidence in the general awareness section definitely. And it is my personal promise that if you're watching the videos regularly and if you're reading the current affairs from the PDFs, then your current affairs section will go strong, because current affairs section is very important. And I want to tell you one more important thing, that 90% of the current affairs in all the exams, according to our survey, comes from our current affairs. This is very important. That's why you have to revise the current affairs daily, weekly and monthly section. Thank you guys for watching this video, and take care.